Welcome to 2026, the BTS year. So the guys had an OT7 live right at the transition moments from 2025 to 2026. They turned on the live stream at around 11:48 p.m. KST on December 31st, 2025, about 12 minutes before the midnight, right? And turns out these guys had a live stream at Namjoon's house, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of people were waiting for this live stream because they played around with the idea of having a year-end party, right? They also play around with the idea of having it while wearing suit and tie, but it seems like they decided to have it as in a casual setting, right? Wearing casual outfits and at one of the members' house, and it turns out it's Namjoon's house. Instead of having it at the company building or at a nice studio. And I like that because it's a year end where people are supposed to have nice time with their families or friends. And if they were to have it at an official setting, then it requires the presence of like staff members, right? So I kind of like this. And yeah, I am about to do a full translation of the live stream while providing context here and there and doing a full reaction to the live stream. Now, the live stream itself was about 12 minutes and 50 seconds, but you know that this video you're watching will be much longer than that because I'll try to translate as much as possible, capturing everything these members say. And we know when these guys are together, they talk over each other and there are like multiple conversations happening at the same time. I might have to adjust a bit because if I try to, catch everything, I'll have to listen again and again, and then that will make the video too long. I'll try to figure out, hit the right balance. Okay, so I'll do my best. All right, so here we go. Let's start from the beginning. Let's see. Yeah, Namjoon. When was Namjoon had a live stream recently, and Weverse. Oh yeah. Do you guys realize BTS changed their background for their social media accounts and Weverse community? Black, simple black. So something is up. Something is up. As soon as we hit the year 2026, yep, things are already changing and feels different. So it was during his live stream on December 28th when he showed us a glimpse of his place with the Christmas tree in the background. So we are already familiar with the setting. I see Namjoon and V are wearing beanie hats. SUGA is wearing a super heavy jacket. I guess it feels cold. So yeah, here we go. And meanwhile, Jungkook is like leaning onto the sofa, and Jimin and V are sitting on the floor, while the Hyungs. So here's like typical, not typical, but like a Korean age hierarchy in a respectful way. I mean, not that the BTS members like are too hung up on the hierarchy, but it's just interesting how these guys are positioned, right? Jin, SUGA, Namjoon, and JHope sitting on the sofa, and V and Jimin are sitting on the floor, while Jungkook is behind the sofa, leaning onto that, right? So this is.
내 다리 찌부됐다.
근데
Jin says, so we began. Jin says, 내 다리 찌부됐다. My legs just got completely squished. That's because these guys are all like gathering around to position themselves within the frame, but it's also because V is like leaning his back onto Jin's leg. That's why he says 내 다리 찌부됐다. My leg just got completely squished.
약간 이쪽으로 좀 가져야 될 것 같아요.
화면 터치 한 번만 해줘.
지민, 약간 이거 이쪽으로 좀 가져야 될 것 같은데. I think it needs to go a bit this way. So adjusting the camera angle. So it's moving the camera or the mobile phone device. And Jungkook says 그 화면 터치 한 번만 해봐.
근데 약간 쪽으로 좀 가져야 될 것
형
같은데.
화면 터치 한 번만 해줘.
Can you tap the screen once?
그게 이 스탠드가 약간 패급이라.
So Jungkook likes it now. V tapped the screen. And RM says 이게 스탠드가 약간 패급이라. I think it's because the stand is kind of trash. So RM told us last time that he finally got a phone stand. So it's no longer going to be shaky. But I guess the stand is not high quality stuff. So that's the explanation that he just provided.
오케이.
집에 스탠드가 있냐? 그러게.
윤기 wonders. 근데 집에 스탠드가 있냐? But okay, but how do you even have a stand at home?
아니 이거 그저 약간 패급이라.
오케이.
집에 스탠드가 있냐? 그러게. 아니 이거 그저
너 촬영하는 거 좋아하는
Jin wonders the same thing. How does RM even have a stand at home? And he guesses right. It's probably because he likes filming, right?
그러게. 아니
촬영하는 거 좋아해서.
이거 그저
너 촬영하는 거 좋아하는
That's because you like filming stuff, right? And RM says, yeah.
2026년 이제 한 15분 남았습니까?
자 그
2025, do we have about 15 minutes left? JHope says.
자, 2026년 이제 한 15분 남았습니까?
For 2026, do we have about 15 minutes left until 2026?
자 그 시간 확인 좀 해주세요 여러분들.
RM, 시간 확인 좀 해주세요, 여러분들. Everyone, can you guys check the time?
네. 26년이
And Jungkook and Jin are pulling out their phones.
흥룡이에요. 멋있는데? 야 2026년 흥룡이래. 블랙.
Oh my God, how many of these guys are talking at the same time? All right, let's first figure out why Jimin and V are prominently laughing right here.
남았습니까?
자 그 시간 확인 좀 해주세요 여러분들. 네.
26년이 흥룡이가
All right, so it was nothing. It was just V randomly saying 반갑습니다, nice to see you, or great seeing you, in that funny and dramatic way.
15분 남았습니까?
자 그 시간 확인 좀 해주세요 여러분들. 네.
26년이 흥룡이가
That's why these guys are having eye contact with each other and just laughing because the way he says is funny.
흥룡이에요. 멋있는데? 야 2026년 흥룡이래. 블랙 드래곤이래.
All right, so
흥룡이에요. 멋있는데? 야 2026.
and that gesture. Now let's turn to this conversation. In the back.
26년이 흥룡이가
26년이 흑욕인가? Oh, SUGA says.
자 그 시간 확인 좀 해주세요 여러분들. 네.
26년이 흥룡이가
Is 2026 the year of Black Dragon? And so they are talking about Zodiac, and I looked it up. So they're gonna figure out, what 2026 is about. And someone says it's the year of Black Dragon. Someone says it's the year of rabbits. But it turns out it is the year of Red Horse. Okay. So fact check. Okay. I decided to fact check, and I'm glad that I did it. Although I see an army posting online on social media saying that no, 2026 is not the year of Black Dragon or the year of Red Horse. It's the year of BTS. And I fully agree with that. Anyways, they're about to talk about zodiac signs. Zodiac.
흥룡이에요.
RM. 흑룡이에요? Really? It's the year of Black Dragon? 멋있는데? That's super cool.
멋있는데? 야 2026년 흥룡이래. 블랙 드래곤이래. 와.
And now RM is spreading the fake news. Is it guys, 2026 is the year of Black Dragon.
뭐라고요?
And Jimin says, 뭐라고요? What you say?
흥룡의 해래. 흥룡의 해.
Yeah, 흑룡의 해래, 검은 용의 해. The year of the Black Dragon.
멋있는데?
이번이 토끼의
And RM keeps saying, 멋있는데? That's super cool.
해 아니었나?
That's funny because last time during his live stream, he mentioned the word 흑염룡, the black flame dragon, like twice or three times. What was the context? It was when he says, hey guys, I decided to talk less and talk slower and react slower to calm myself down, you know. But nevertheless, he kept talking on, you know, very rapidly in an RM style. But then he realizes, no, I just told myself and I told everyone that I'm gonna, you know, react slower. And he told the audience, he told fans, not to wake up the inner black flame dragon inside him. So that's kind of funny. And in fact, Jimin is about to refer to the concept.
내 안에 흥룡이.
Yeah, right here. 내 안에 흥룡이. And making the gesture. V making the gesture.
그게 약간 중이병 멘트 아닌가?
그게 약간 중이병 멘트 아닌가? So the context is what Jimin says right here is the black dragon inside me. 내 안에 흥룡이. And V and Jimin made that gestures with their hands, right? And Jimin asked, isn't that the kind of middle school syndrome, you know, someone with the middle school syndrome would say? And that's because, like, the name or the word 흑염룡 or 흥룡, the black dragon or black dragon inside me, saying that sounds like something a 13-year-old or a 15-year-old would say when they're deep into, I don't know, anime or fantasy or self-important inner monologues. Okay, so that was a random context. Meanwhile, RM is still wondering what 2026 is truly about.
내 안에 흥룡이.
뱀의 해 아니었어? Wasn't it the year of snake?
흥룡의 해.
멋있는데?
이번이 토끼의 해 아니었나?
Oh, okay. So they're talking about 2025. Jin goes, 이번이 토끼의 해 아니었나? Wasn't this year the year of rabbit?
내 안에 흥룡이.
뱀의 해 아니었어? Wasn't it the year of snake?
뱀이냐?
뱀이야? Is it the snake? So it turns out 2025 was Blue Snake, the year of Blue Snake. So RM was right. 2024 was Blue Dragon year. But 2026 is the year of Red Horse, right? So fact check.
그게 약간 중이병 멘트 아닌가?
자축인묘 진사오미.
Okay, now notice what RM is doing, and seems like other guys are recognizing what he's saying. So that's a way of memorizing the zodiac order, right? 자축인묘 진사오미. 자축인묘 진사오미. So 자 is like what is it? No, rat, okay? So rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig. Okay? That's what he's trying to memorize.
너 그 만화 알아?
Now, all of a sudden, V is singing a song, a melody, and JHope recognizes it. And he asks, 너 그거 만화 알아? Do you know that cartoon?
만화 안다고 그거?
You know that cartoon? And V goes, 네.
그거 인간은 모르는데.
Really? Most people don't know that one. 엔간하면 모르는데. So, what are they talking about? They're talking about a cartoon named 꾸러기 수비대. It's an old cartoon. And especially the song, the Korean opening aired on like KBS. So opening song famously sang the full zodiac order in a catchy, dramatic tune, and it is so memorable that it basically taught a certain generation, an entire generation, the 12 zodiac animals without them realizing that they are studying. Studying. So for people born roughly from the mid 1980s to early 1990s, this song is almost universal knowledge, although I didn't recognize that one. But it says that most kids from that era memorized the zodiac through this cartoon, not through school or books. And interestingly, V, his birth date or birth year is 1995, but he still recognizes and memorizes the song, and JHope instantly recognizes that. Okay?
그거 인간은
너 그 만화 알아?
진사오미.
자축이며 진사오미 신유술래
V sounds so funny here.
너 그 만화 알아?
진.
만화 안다고 그거? 그거 인간
형 봤어요? Did you also watch that cartoon?
모르는데.
But JHope says that most people don't know that one.
야 25년 갔다.
Alright, meanwhile, these three guys are still talking about Zodiac, and Jungkook goes, 진 다음에 뭐야? What comes after Jin? So the right answer is 자축인묘 진사. So Jin is a dragon. Okay. So after Jin comes Snake, but Jin, our BTS Jin, goes.
야 25년 갔다. 아유.
진 다음에 윤기. After Jin is 윤기. And we're talking about the BTS fan chant, right? Or the official BTS member order, right? So after Jin is Yoongi.
네.
And then Jungkook goes, Yoongi.
야 25년 갔다.
I love when he does that.
아유.
That head turn. And then Yoongi. That's so funny. And RM and Jin are laughing. And meanwhile, Yoongi himself goes, 뭐가? What? And Jungkook explains, 신담에 윤기를 해가지고. He just said that after Jin is Yoongi. But I'm pretty sure Yoongi has no idea what they're talking about. Because that answer is not enough. Not enough of an explanation why they're laughing. But Yoongi doesn't care.
25년 갔다. 아유. 네.
뭐가?
자 그럼 세
That's hilarious. Meanwhile, V is at the corner of the frame, having an eye contact with Army. There are so many precious moments that is so easy to overlook. But if you try, there are so many details that you can dig into.
아직 아닌가?
아직 아니지.
RM was about to say 새해 복 많이 받으세요, Happy New Year, but then he stops in mid-sentence, saying 아직 아니지. It's not yet, right? So
음식 배달
because they still have a few minutes left until 2026.
자 그럼 새해 복 아직 아닌가?
아직 아니지.
아직 아닌가? Not yet.
그 음식 배달
나 그것도 찾았네요.
Jimin and JHope seems like they noted a notification alarm that popped up on Namjoon's phone screen. And Jimin says, 형 음식 배달 곧 도착한다는데? 형, the food delivery is almost here.
새해 복 아직 아닌가?
아직 아니지.
형 그 음식
I guess JHope is laughing that loud. It's probably because the vibe is so funny, and the fact that while having the Weverse live stream, a delivery app notification popping up, I think that the vibe or the mood is just makes him laugh. That's what makes him laugh.
배달
나 그것도 찾았네요.
And Jungkook is laughing.
멋있게
뭐 시켰는데? What did you order? What did you even order?
탄산수 줄
니네 탄산수 주려고. Okay, so he says that I order sparkling water for you guys.
탄산수를 시켜놨다. 그죠?
라이더
And they're like, oh, so sweet. 지민, 라이더님이 곧 도착한다는데, it says that the rider, the delivery is almost here. The delivery rider. So it sounds like he is using 배민, 배달의 민족, the food delivery app. And when the delivery is almost here, almost arrived, it gives you a notification bell, right? So that's what just happened.
완전 스윗하다 남준아.
Sweeter than Namjoon, you're so sweet, Namjoon. Jin says.
방해금지 모드를 안 해놨구나.
RM. 방해 금지 모드를 안 해놨구나. I guess I didn't turn on Do Not Disturb.
해요? 아니야.
Meanwhile, V is behind the phone. He goes, "Hell, should I?" Meaning, should I turn on Do Not Disturb? And RM says, 아니야, 괜찮아. No, it's fine.
맛있는 냄새 나네 갑자기.
JHope 맛있는 냄새 나는데 갑자기 wow, suddenly it smells really good.
아니 음식을 시킨 거 아니야?
음식 배달.
남준이가 향수 뿌리고 왔어.
음식을 시키는 거 아니야.
맛있는 냄새 나네 갑자기.
아니 음식을 시킨 거 아니야?
음식 배달.
음식을 시키는 거 아니야. So two options. Either no, we didn't order food, or we order food.
남준이가 향수
아니야 괜찮아. 맛있는 냄새 나네 갑자기.
아니 음식을 시킨 거 아니야?
음식 배달.
남준이가 향수 뿌리고
But I thought SUGA says that they didn't order food, but it sounds like RM said we also order food. And I just noted, as soon as JHope says something smells good, something smells really good, Jungkook,
맛있는
he turns his head
나네 갑자기.
immediately.
아니 음식을 시킨 거 아니야?
음식 배달.
남준이가 향수 뿌리고 왔어.
And Jin is making a joke. 남준이가 향수 뿌리고 왔어. 남준 has perfume on.
향수
And that triggered RM into singing a song, 향수 뿌리지 마. Stop spraying perfume. What's the English title? I think so. Isn't it Teen Top? 향수 뿌리지 마. Yeah, No More Perfume on You. A song by Teen Top, released in 2011. So
아니 피치.
RM skirt. It seems like RM does that very often nowadays. Skirt.
내가 한 노래가 맞나 했다.
Yoongi is laughing because RM was way off pitch.
아니 피치가
피치가
내가
the pitch was way off.
노래가 맞나 했다.
I was like, is this even the song that I know?
근데
안 나온다, 야.
이제 올해 끝나는
Meanwhile, JHope noticed that V is not showing up within the frame, and says that no, 안 나온다야. You're not showing up.
내가 한 노래가 맞나 했다.
So it's bringing over V into the frame.
근데
안 나온다, 야.
이제 올해 끝나는데
왔다리 갔다리 하는 거죠.
나
Wow, V's eyebrows, and he says, "ay 왔다리 갔다리 하는 거죠 뭐." I can't, simply keep moving around. So, meaning it doesn't care if it's within the frame. Meanwhile, the Hyungs, Jin and JHope, are paying attention and trying to, bring him in with the members so that armies can see them together. But V, is so chill.
맞나 했다.
근데
안 나온다, 야.
이제 올해 끝나는데
왔다리 갔다리 하는 거죠.
왔다리 갔다리 하는 거죠. And Jin, meanwhile, says,
올해가
여기 있어. Stay here. While patting on his shoulder. Now, let's turn to Jimin.
막 훅 지나간 느낌은 아니에요.
올해 너무 좋아.
아니 나는
올해가 막 훅 지나간 느낌은 아니에요. It feels like this year, didn't really fly by. It doesn't feel like it flew by.
지금이 나는 연말 느낌이 안 나.
Now, almost every member has a reaction to that.
엄청 훅 지나간 느낌은 아니에요.
올해 너무
RM was the first one to react, saying that 나 너무 길어. For me, this year felt really long or too long.
아니 나는 열심히 나는 연말 느낌이 안 나.
But Jin goes, 열심히 뭔가 많이 했지. Yeah, we worked hard doing a lot of things. Meanwhile,
막 훅 지나간 느낌은 아니에요.
SUGA.
아니 나는 열심히 나는 연말 느낌이 안 나.
아니야, 나는 연말 느낌이 안 나. For me, it doesn't feel like year end. And that's something that these guys talked about pretty recently. One of the OT7 live streams. That for some reason, it doesn't feel like the year end season. Because usually it should feel more festive, I guess. Just the overall vibe or mood in the country. But
뭐가 엄청
뭐
많이
그럴
한
수
거
있지
같아요.
연말 느낌도 뭐.
왜냐면
특히 연말 느낌 안 나.
저녁도 했었지.
그지.
okay, Jimin is explaining himself.
엄청
뭐
많이
그럴
한
수
거
있지
같아요.
연말 느낌도 뭐.
So remember, he was the one who started this conversation, saying that for me, it didn't feel like the year flew by, and the reason is because
왜냐면
아니 나는 열심히 나는 연말 느낌이 안 나.
뭐가 엄청
뭐
많이
그럴
한
수
거
있지 연말
같아요.
느낌.
엄청 많이 한 것 같아. It feels like we have done so much.
뭐.
왜냐면
특히 연말 느낌 안 나.
저녁도 했었지.
Because after all, we even got discharged from the military.
연말 느낌 하나도 안 나지 않냐?
음악 작업도 했지.
근데
뭘안 했어.
요즘에
이렇게 한가하게
요즘에
여기
Oh wow.
크리스마스
도 했지.
Where should I even start?
네,
특히 연말 느낌 안 나.
저녁도 했었지.
특히 연말 느낌 안 나. Alright, let's go back to SUGA. Let's focus on SUGA first.
엄청
뭐
많이
그럴
한
수
것
있지.
같아.
연말 느낌도 뭐.
왜냐면
이번에 특히 연말 느낌 안 나.
저녁도
이번 특히 연말 느낌이 안 나. For some reason, this year doesn't feel like the year end. For some reason, especially.
했었지.
그지.
연말 느낌 하나도 안 나지 않냐?
음악 작업
Isn't that so for you guys?
했지.
근데
뭘안 해서
요즘에
이렇게 한가하게
요즘에 바깥에서 크리스마스 캐롤들이 안 들린다?
Okay, that's because there are no people in the street. He says that while coming over here, I didn't see anybody in the street. And that's probably because I don't know where Namjoon's place is located. Maybe I don't know, who knows. But right now, especially on December 31st, people either stay at home, watching TV, like I don't know, there are a bunch of special, shows being aired on TV, or they gather in like Chongno area to watch the ringing of the year-end bell. Oh, they're gonna talk about that year-end celebration bell in real time, or it's just so freezing in Korea these days, especially right now. So, but SUGA says that because he's not seeing people, having like festive, enjoying the year end, it doesn't feel like the year end.
요즘에 바깥에서
And RM kind of agrees. Yeah, it does kind of feel like there are not a lot of people around in the street.
크리스마스 캐롤들이 안 들린다?
Meanwhile, V is making an observation. 요즘에 크리스마스 캐롤들이 안 들린다. For some reason, we don't hear Christmas carols outside.
안 나간 게 아니고. 남주인의 집 앞에 걸어오는데 진짜
크리스마스 캐롤들이 안 들린다?
너 많이 안 나간 게 아니고.
JHope responds. 너가 많이 안 나간 게 아니고, or maybe it's because you haven't really gone outside.
집 앞에 걸어오는데
And V just nods.
진짜 추워가지고 연말 느낌.
내보다 분위기가
진짜 춥대다. 말이 안 되는
연말 느낌 아니에요?
걸어오는데 진짜 추워가지고 연말 느낌.
내보다 분위기가
진짜 춥대다. 말이 안 되는
연말 느낌 아니에요?
아 너무 춥더라 진짜.
I think Jimin kind of agrees with SUGA. Maybe the overall mood doesn't feel as festive as it used to be compared to a few years ago. And that's what some people say, as how people say that as the economy, as people, I don't know, maybe it has something to do with economic conditions, but I'm not going to comment on that. Meanwhile, let's focus on this conversation.
분위기가
너 많이 안 나간 게 아니고. 남주인의 집 앞에 걸어오는데 진짜 추워가지고 연말.
Jin.
내보다 분위기가
남준이 집에 오는데, so as I came over to 남준's house, it was so freezing.
춥대다.
진짜 춥더라. It was so freezing.
연말 느낌 아니에요?
아 너무 춥더라 진짜.
RM goes, 정말 느낌 아니에요? 연말이 아니라? Now, doesn't it feel like the end of the world, not the end of the year?
연말 특수가 코 떨어져 나가는 줄 알았어.
우리 이렇게
Yeah, SUGA says 연말 특수가 없어. Yeah, there's no year-end buzz at all. So that does have like economic implications. That how as we approach the year-end and the new year, there should be a lot of people eating and having parties at restaurants and pubs. But SUGA is noticing that that's not the case. There are a lot of people around.
그냥
Now the delivery is here.
니 왜 가는 척만 하냐?
원래 이런 적 있어. 하면 이제 가는 사람 따라 있고 알지?
가만히 있어. 내가 치울게.
집에서.
Okay, what just happened? So the delivery is here, right? And V acted as if he was about to go get the food or the drinks by saying, 제가 가겠습니다. I'll head out quickly now. And then goes, and then he just stays.
니 왜 가는 척만 하냐?
Jimin says, 니 왜 가는 척만 하냐? Why are you only pretending to go?
원래 이런 적 있어.
And JHope says, 원래 이런 사람이 있어. There's always that person.
이제 가는 사람 따라 있고 알지?
There's always that person who only acts as if he's gonna be the one heading out, but then there's the person who actually heads out to handle stuff. And in this case, it was who was it? It was our 막내 Jungkook.
니왜 가는 척만?
원래 이런 적 있어. 하면 이제 가는 사람 따라 있고 알지?
And yeah, Jin and Jimin are trying to are acting out just like what V did, 가는 척만 하는, to pretend that you're making actions, you're taking actions, whereas in reality you don't. You only act out.
야, 가만히 있어. 내가 치울게.
집에서.
And SUGA adds by join in. And that person usually says something like, hey, stay there. I'll handle this. 내가 치울게. 가만히 있어. 내가 치울게. Stay still. I'll handle everything. But then that person ends up not doing anything.
액션 좋다. 액션 좋았어.
Action 좋았어. RM says that was a great, action. Nice movement. And that was so funny. And we probably did it on, purpose.
우리 이렇게 그냥
왔다.
빨리 가겠습니다.
시작하겠습니다. I'll head out.
니왜 가는 척만?
And how Jimin immediately notices that. That's even funnier.
원래 이런 적 있어. 하면 이제 가는 사람 따라 있고 알지?
야, 가만히 있어. 내가 치울게.
집에서 액션 좋다. 액션 좋았어.
Yeah, we all know that person.
가서.
가셨어.
가온나.
갖고 와.
아니야.
So the delivery person left the items at the door and left. That's why they're saying that.
가서.
가셨어.
가온나.
가온나. Jimin says, bring it over here. Bring it.
갖고 와.
아니야.
Jungkook, 갖고 와? Should I?
가서.
But the other guy said, 아니야. No. Never
야,
mind.
얼마 안 남았어 지금 26년도.
10분 남았어.
얼마 안 남았어. We don't have much time left until 2026. About 10 minutes.
10분.
올 한해 어땠어요,
Exactly 10 minutes.
다들?
Jin asked everyone, 올 한해 어땠어요? How was this year for you guys?
길었어요.
길었어요. It was long, Jimin says.
사실
진짜 길었어요.
나 미국에
진짜 길었는데 it was really long.
제일 재밌었던 것 같아. 썩 좋지.
SUGA. 나 미국에 있었을 때가 제일 재밌었던 것 같은데.
길었어요.
사실
진짜 길었어요.
나 미국에 있을 때가 제일 재밌었던 것 같아.
It was the most fun in the States when they were in the States. That was great to hear.
긴 사람들.
Meanwhile, RM says, 썩 좋지는 않았어요. It wasn't that good. Now that's an understatement because the last time he had a solo live stream, he told us that it was the worst year, right? But yeah, he decided to frame it that way. It wasn't that good. 썩 좋진 않았어요.
있고.
길었어요.
사실
진짜 길었어요.
나 미국에 있을 때가 제일 재밌었던 것 같아. 썩 좋지.
긴 사람도 있고 난 좀 짧았어.
JHope is bringing a perspective. 긴 사람도 있고. Some people felt it was long, but 나는 좀 짧았어. For me, it felt short. So it's all relative, right?
훅 지나갔어.
훅 지나갔어. It just flew by.
스케줄을 많이 해서 그래.
Probably because I had a lot of schedules.
연말 그런 사람도 봤어.
Yeah, and SUGA is the one who pointed out. Probably because you have your schedules were packed.
스케줄을 많이 해서 그래.
연말 그런 사람도 봤어.
RM says, I saw you doing the year-end stuff. And by that, he's referring to all the photos that JHope uploaded on his Instagram. And he told us during the latest live stream that he always does that, right? Like archiving all the photos or footage, the most memorable ones from a specific year. So, yeah. Oh, wow, that's apps. Anyways, that's what RM referred to.
훅 지나갔어. 뭔가 다시 돌이켜 보니까 진짜.
Yeah, he emphasized again. 훅 지나갔어. It just flew by. Still passed super quickly. Looking back now.
근데 나도 막 엄청 길게 느껴지진 않았던 것 같아.
뭐 다
V says it didn't feel extremely long to me either.
각자가 다른 것 같아 내가 볼 때는.
So I think it's different for everyone, JHope says.
전반부는 좀 길게 느껴지긴 했어요.
V says, 전반부는 좀 길게 느껴지긴 했어요. For me, the first half felt longer. And why are these guys laughing? Because the first half of the year, V and the other guys were still in the military. And in the military, time does not pass. Or it feels like.
그냥 그 각자가 다른 것 같아 내가 볼 때는.
전반부는 좀 길게 느껴지긴 했어요.
그냥 그때랑 지금이랑 다른 것 같아.
태화 너안 나와.
전반
Oh, but interesting. Jungkook's reaction.
그냥 그때랑 지금이랑 다른 것 같아.
태화 너안 나와.
전반부는
Oh, SUGA says, 태영아 너 안 나온다. You're not showing up within the frame. And V's reaction. He doesn't really care.
그냥 그때랑 지금이랑 다른 것 같아.
태화 너안 나와.
전반부는
And Jin is the one bringing him in.
여기 보면서 얘기해.
Jin, 여기 보면서 얘기해. Speak while looking here.
이거야?
Talk while looking here.
전반부는 좀 길게 전반부는
여기 보면서 얘기해.
이거야?
전반부는 좀 길게
Jimin is saying something I didn't recognize.
느껴지긴 했어요.
줄 거야?
I think what he says does not really matter. It's just a way of saying it in a funny way. And them having this interaction. The expressions. Oh, V's expressions, facial expressions are so lively.
느껴지긴 했어요.
줄 거야?
갖다 쓸 거야?
진짜 전역하고 6개월이 난 너무 짧아.
Jungkook says 전역하고 6개월이 난 너무 짧았어. The 6 months that I spent after the military discharge felt so short.
그러니까 그 뒤에 이제 점점 불이 딱 붙었는데.
맞아.
그렇지.
그 뒤에 점점 불이 딱 붙었는데 and things really picked up since then. Yeah, so up until military discharge, it's almost as if, time didn't pass at all, the military style. But after they became civilians, time flew by for some of these guys.
시간대가 왔다 갔다 해서 난 길었던 것 같아.
시간대가 왔다 갔다 해서 난 길었던 것 같아. It felt long because the pace kept shifting back and forth. I wonder what that is supposed to mean. Maybe there is talk about like the pace or time frames, different time frames in the military and as a civilian life. Maybe that's what it's referred to. Yeah. So this year feels really special for most of these guys because half of the year they were military soldiers, but the second half they have turned into civilians again and artists and superstars. You know what I'm saying? So it's a dramatic shift and transition, and we gotta respect that. And I said this earlier in one of my previous videos. Like, I would completely understand if these guys just not do anything and just spend time with their families and friends all the time. Because if you think about it, this is their true hiatus. Like, not really enjoying the freedom to not really do anything. But instead, they have been super active. You know what I'm saying? But it's because BTS, they love interactions with their fans,
체감.
그지.
나는 그 끝 부분이 나는 오히려 되게 짧았어.
맞아. 10월
끝부분이 나는 오히려 되게 짧았어. The ending actually felt really short to me, Jin says.
하니까
12월 이렇게.
약간 월화수목금토일 약간 이런 느낌.
좀 그런 하니까
12월 이렇게.
October to December, right, like this? Jimin asked.
월화수목금토일 약간 이런 느낌.
좀 그런 느낌이야.
금토일.
월화수목금토일. So what he says is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But the way he said 금토일, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he says it really quick, right? And that's how I'm pretty sure other people say something similar. But Korean people say that if you work at a company or something, if you have a job, you work Monday to Friday, right? So time feels really slow, but then on weekends, time flies by. That's why he says 금토일, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
미국이 좀 빨리 지나갔던 거.
금털?
미국도 후딱 지나.
And V repeats that.
금털?
금텔?
I don't know. I guess for some reason, either Jimin misheard it or he thought it was funny
좀 빨리 뭐 금털?
because his reaction.
짧았어.
맞아. 10월,
일을
11월,
하니까.
12월 이렇게.
약간 월화수목 금털? 약간
Jimin goes,
이런 느낌?
좀 그런 느낌이었어.
yeah? Oh, okay. It sounds like he clearly misheard it. He thought RM said something inappropriate.
금털?
금텔?
미국이
금토ir. Okay. It doesn't really sound anything inappropriate though. But yeah, Jimin misheard it.
좀 빨리 지나갔던 거.
금털?
미국이 빨리 지나갔던 것 같고. Suga goes, I feel like the time spent in the, I just noted that his bare feet. Anyways, the time spent in the US felt really short. Meanwhile, V goes, 금토일?
미국도 후딱 지나.
금토일.
진짜 힘들어.
미국도 후딱 지나.
And JHope agrees with Suga by saying, yeah, 미국도 후딱 지나갔고. Yeah, the US, the schedules or time flew by.
미국 후반 3주는 진짜 힘들어. 그 남주 힘들지.
난 힘들어했어.
쉽지 않았네.
후반 3주는 좀 힘들었어. The last 3 weeks in the US were really tough. And Suga says, yeah, 남준 struggled a bit.
자세한 건 나중에 확인하실 수 있습니다.
자세한 건 나중에 확인할 수 있습니다. Yeah, so
그 남주 힘들지.
난 힘들어했어.
seems like something happened because Jin agrees. Yeah, 남준 struggled.
쉽지 않았네. 자세한 건
쉽지 않았네. It wasn't easy.
나중에 확인하실 수 있습니다.
자세한 건 나중에 확인할 수 있습니다. You can check the details later. Now, what does it tell us? Yeah, they probably filmed a lot of stuff while working on music in LA. And they probably are going to release it either through forms of, behind the scenes videos, like the episodes that might upload on Bangtan TV YouTube channel, or I don't know, maybe documentary films. Who knows? But we will get to see what really happened and why Namjoon struggled in the last 3 weeks of, working on the album in the States.
그렇지.
근데 이거 나 궁금한 거. 다들 라이브 할 때 혹시 그냥 이렇게만 해요? 아니면 좀 약간 배경음 좀 깔고 해요?
배경
V asked a question. I'm curious. This is something I'm curious about. When you guys go live, do you just do it like this or do you play some background music?
깔면 안 돼요.
아 그래요? 왜?
Jin goes, 배경하면 안 돼요. You're not supposed to do that. Play background music.
저작권 때문에 안 되는 거.
Because of copyright issues.
아 그래?
나는
맨날-
배경
And RM says, oh, really?
많이 깔긴 했었어.
And V and JHope goes, I used to play background music a lot.
맨날 봐.
라이브가 저작권 때문에
I do it every day, V says.
안 된다고요?
몰라 그냥 한 번.
Jimin says, are you sure we're not supposed to play music during the live because of copyright issues? And Jin says,
아니
I just said whatever. 그냥 해본 말이야.
이제
이건 돼.
그거가
라이브는 돼. Jimin says, we can while doing the live.
그 유튜브 같은데 이제
이게
해서 올라가면 좋을 거예요.
금액이
And yeah, Suga says, if you upload it on YouTube, then it might get blocked or have some copyright issues with music. And nowadays, YouTube is very strict. They use automatic AI features to detect music being used in videos. But Weverse wise, it doesn't really matter, right? So that's why Suga is making that correction.
나오는 게 아니잖아요. 그치?
아 그래.
유튜브 같은데 이제
이게
해서 올라가면 좋을 거예요.
금액이 나오는 게 아니잖아요. 그치?
이게 금액이 나오는 게 아니잖아요. This doesn't generate revenue or anything, right? That's why play music. They are able to play music Weverse.
그래. 너 되게 똑똑하다.
Jin says, "Oh, really? 너희 되게 똑똑하다. You guys are really smart."
원래 그런 것 때문에 저작권이 걸리는 거니까.
명석하다 너.
Although, so Jimin says, 원래 그런 것 때문에 저작권이 걸린 거니까. That's exactly why copyright issues happen. Although, if you really go into details, I don't know. Maybe there are some I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I'm not gonna comment on that because I don't know. But yeah, YouTube is pretty strict, which is why when, for example, V plays background music loud, I don't connect the sound directly. I play the sound through speakers so that YouTube does not pick up on the the tracks, right? Audio tracks. Although I did note that during V's latest live stream, or like a couple of days ago, or a few days ago, he did play music. But it turns out YouTube didn't pick up on that. And I saw a lot of my subscribers writing comments asking, hey, please tell me what that song that V played. And I wonder about the same thing. There's a chance that it might have been one of the like AI generated tracks, because nowadays there are some amazing like AI generated like music playlists out there, and what V played was like a jazz style. And if that is the case, maybe that's why YouTube really didn't, pick up on that. But who knows? I wasn't able to find that specific track or tracks. If you have any ideas, let me know. Anyways.
너네.
형이 이제 곧 영포티라 가지고 이제.
Okay. Here comes the age talk again.
원래 그런 것 때문에 저작권이 걸리는 거니까.
명석하다 너네.
명색하다 너네. You guys are really clever.
형이 이제 곧 영포티라 가지고 이제.
V is just teasing Jin. This is because this is because you're about to be young 40, meaning you're about to be in 40s. Jin is laughing, other guys are laughing, RM is laughing, Jungkook is laughing.
업데이트가 잘.
근데 저 아직
업데이트가 잘. That's why you're not really great with updates.
30예요.
Jin clarifies. 아직 30예요, 30. I'm still in 30s, in my 30s. young 40가 아니지. That's really not the case. It's not in his 40s.
아 전국이 30이에요.
근데 저 아직 30예요. 30.
우리 다 30야 이제.
Suga goes, 우리 다 30야 이제. We're all in our 30s.
아 전국이 30이에요.
정국 30이에요. 정국 is now 30. Okay, so let's bear with them while talking about age. I know a lot of people, I don't know, they've been talking about age a lot, and I have already provided context for you guys, that in Korea, age does matter, and it does become a topic of like conversation all the time, especially among friends, who spend a lot of time together, reminiscing about the past and saying something like, wow, do you remember what happened like back then, and now we have become old, like 30s or 40s, something like that. And if you think about it, it's very natural because they've been like, separate for 2 years, 3 years, and they got together, for the first time in a very long time. And when they get together, they can talk about their past and how they spent their, military, and how old they have become. So it makes sense. Although for listeners and for fans, it might get tiring for some people, and I understand that. But, yeah, I will just say that. And I will translate.
멘트가 좀
정국이가 영석.
Jimin says, 멘트가 좀 공격적인데요. What you just said was a bit aggressive, the remark you just made. And that's because the term V said, young 40s, that has a little bit of derogatory term, and it has kind of become like a social issue in Korea where people, especially young people, make fun of guys in their 40s who are trying to act young by dressing up in a certain ways or using trendy items or something. That's why Jimin says that. But V was just simply teasing Jin.
서티고.
와.
그렇지. 정국이가 우리
아 전국이 30이에요. 한국
멘트가 좀 공격적이야.
정국이가 0 서티고.
와.
V says something I do not recognize.
아 전국이 30이에요. 한국
멘트가 좀 공격적이야.
정국이가 0 서티고.
와.
그렇지. 정국이가
우리 떨이 둘이
미들 서티.
비싸.
It's just super loud.
서티고.
와.
그렇지.
아 전국이 30이에요. 한국
멘트가 좀
I. So he's trying to clarify himself.
정국이가 0 서티고.
와.
Maybe he says I'm 32.
정국이가
우리 떨이 둘이
Oh yeah. Jimin says 우리 32. We are 32, and they're having a handshake. And yes, let's review their age now. Jin 33, SUGA 32, JHope 31, RM 31, Jimin 30, V 30, Jungkook 28. Why did they say they're 32? They went by the traditional Korean age system, probably. But Korea has officially started to use the international age system. But yeah, I think they still went by the traditional way. That's why they're saying that they're 32.
미들 서
멘트가 좀 공격적이야.
정국이가 0 서티고.
와.
그렇지. 정국이가
우리 떨이 둘이
미들 서티.
비싸.
So JHope says that Jungkook has become young 30, and now we have become mid 30s. Mid 30s? But hey, if we use the official international age system, they're still 31. And Jin is only 33.
우리 떨이 투.
32. 33.
Now, for those who are getting tired of like age talk, we should also realize that the K-pop industry, especially like performance or music industry, the lifespan of artists is relatively short. You know what I'm saying? That's why age could matter a bit more in this industry. Although I do realize that nowadays the lifespan is getting longer and longer. There are a lot of artists and groups who are still active after spending a lot of years in the industry. But that's just the context that we can keep in mind while listening to these guys talk about age all the time.
아 이제 그냥 만으로 하자.
제발 만.
되지. 만으로 하면 어떻게 되는데 그러면?
Yeah, man. Sorry, let me briefly close the window. So SUGA was begging these guys. 우리 이제 만으로 하자. Let's all use the international age system now. 만 나이. That's the international age system. And RM agrees.
아 이제 그냥 만으로 하자.
제발 만.
우리 이제 만으로 하자. Let's all use the international age system, and RM agrees.
되지.
제발, please.
만으로 하면 어떻게 되는데 그러면? 나 33.
So if we go by international age, what is it? JHope asks.
나도 이제
And now it's going to be confusion because these guys are confused themselves.
만으로 하자.
제발 만.
되지. 만으로 하면 어떻게 되는데 그러면? 나 33. 나도 33.
SUGA says 33, Jin says 33,
아니 나는
but RM says, aren't you 32? And again, SUGA is 32, Jin is 33.
31.
3개월 차이니까.
아니지.
Jimin says, I'm 31. 아니지, maybe not.
안 지났으니까.
아난 지금
우리 30, we're 30.
아 이제
So this is exactly why Koreans or the Korean government decided to use the international age, because it gets confusing all the time. Until a few years ago, Koreans used to have like 3 different ages, and it's just so confusing.
이제 30살이다.
나 하나인데? 아니야 하나야 형 둘이에요.
RM, 나 하나인데? I'm 31. 아니요 형, SUGA, you're 32.
만으로 하면
그래 너 32.
And Jin says, yeah, you're 32.
지금이 32지.
지금이 32이지. So I'm 32 right now.
내년에 3월. 지금 31.
아직 안
이제
지났어.
이제 3월이 오잖아. 이제 3월이 오니까 그럼 이제 31 나랑 같아지는 거죠.
So I'm not gonna translate this part. They're trying to clarify things for SUGA to realize that SUGA is indeed 32 right now.
그렇네. 형 서른 둘이네.
난 생일이 이번에 지나갔으니까
그렇네. Jimin says, right, you're 32, SUGA.
그렇게 된 거지.
나 한국 나라 34인 거야.
뭐고? 그럼 내랑 동갑이.
But this is funny. SUGA says,
생일이 이번에 지나갔으니까 그렇게 된 거지.
나 한국 나라 34인 거야.
나 한국 나이로 34인 거잖아. Wait, but my Korean age is 34. But Jimin says,
뭐고 그럼 내랑 동갑이가.
뭐고 그럼 내랑 동갑이가? What? Then we're the same age? And he says that in a dialect tone, and it's just so funny. 뭐고 그럼 우리 동갑이가?
이번에 지나갔으니까 그렇게 된 거지.
나 한국 나이로 34인 거야.
뭐고 그럼 내랑 동갑이가.
Then are we the same age? 그지? Yeah. And they started laughing.
생일 되면 33이 되는
그렇게 된 거지. 아니
How does that happen? How do they become the same age? Anyways.
와 장난하나.
장난하나? Are we joking? Are you joking?
야 윤기 형도 생일이 빠른데. 내가 몇 살이냐? 35이냐?
윤기 형도 생일이 빠른데. 윤기 형's birthday is pretty early, so it's March. March 9th.
한국 나이로 40 되는 거지.
이제 다시 되는 거야?
So by Korean age, you are now becoming 35. So they're talking about Jin.
32.
그러니까 형이랑 나는 33으로 9개월 동안 같이 가다가
33.
So for Jin and me, Suga says, for 9 months, we're in the same age, 33.
32.
그러니까 형이랑 나는 33으로 9개월 동안 같이 가다가
Yeah, 9개월 동안, for 9 months, we're 33 together by Korean age.
33, 32.
태어난 지 몇 년 됐냐가 많아.
그러니까 나랑 형은
태영아,
9개월 동안
지금 몇
동갑이야.
So for Jin and Suga, for 9 months, they're in the same age. Because that's the difference between, so December and March. There are 9 months, right? So we're in the same age for 9 months,
10월 되고 3월
technically speaking.
되잖아.
But then when comes December, then Jin becomes Hyung.
9개월 동안 동갑이다가
And JHope is just laughing.
딱 되면
지금 형이네.
야새 노래 이런
And now his Hyung.
거 있었나?
그지?
그치.
지금 형이지. 그렇게 따지면 너도 얘랑 한 달 동안 동갑인 거 아니야?
Okay, then in that sense, JHope and Suga, you guys are in the same age for 1 month.
아니 난 아니지.
아니지.
나는 생일 빠른데 얘 2월이고 얘는 3월이잖아. 아 형은
93년 3월 94년
4년.
오랜만에
Now Jin is a bit confused because JHope's birthday is February and Suga's birthday is March, but the birth date year is different, 1993 versus 1994. I'm trying my best to explain these things, but at the end of the day, the conclusion is that Korean age system is super confusing. And this tells us how important the value or the concept of age is in Korea, because that determines the hierarchy, right? And who gets to be called Hyung and who gets to be called like 동생. You know what I'm saying?
야 제가 93년 그건 아니니까.
Meanwhile, V and Jimin are doing their own things.
아니 난 아니지. 지금 형이지. 그렇게 따지면
되면 야
32.
한국 나이로 40 되는 거야.
야 윤기 형도 생일이
내가 생일 되면 한국 나이로 34인 거야.
뭐고?
Alright, now we're paying attention
그럼 내랑
to
동갑이가.
V and Jimin.
그래서 내가 생일 되면 33이 되는 거야.
그렇게 된 거지. 아니지 윤기.
와 장난하나.
야 윤기 형도 생일이 빠른데. 내가 몇 살이냐? 5이냐 4이냐?
한국 나이로 40 되는 거지.
이제 다시 되는 거야?
V is going somewhere.
33.
어디 가는데? Where are you going? Jimin asked.
32.
그러니까 형이랑 나는 33으로 9개월 동안 같이 가다가
33, 32.
태어난 지 몇 년 됐냐가 많아.
그러니까 나랑 형은
태영아,
9개월 동안
지금 몇
동갑이야.
태영아, 지금 몇 분이야? What time is it right now? What minute?
거기에다 너가
10월 되고 3월 되잖아. 9개월 동안 동갑이다가
7분? I think it says 7 minutes left. Or 57? 11:57?
되면
지금 형이네.
야새 노래 이런 거 있었나?
그지?
새 노래 이런 게 있었나? Do you have any like New Year song?
지금 형이지. 그렇게 따지면 너도 얘랑 한 달 동안 동갑인 거 아니야? 아니 난 아니지. 나는 생일이 빠른데 얘 2월이고 얘는 3월이잖아. 아 형은
93년 3월
And V decided to play some music.
94년
4년.
오랜만에 듣고 싶어.
야 제가 93년 그건 아니니까.
내가 생일 3월
Oh, Take Two by BTS.
안 나니까
I love how V decided to play that one.
그래도 우리는 족보는 안 꼬였어.
나는 그냥 형이면 무조건 형이고
그거 맞아.
Okay, let's briefly go back to the age talk because they're about to wrap it up.
제가 93년 형은
93년 3월 94년
4년.
오랜만에 듣고 싶어.
Yep, so they have understood SUGA was born in 1993. JHope was born in 1994.
야, 제가 93년
And Jin just realized.
그건 아니니까.
생일
생일 차이 안 나니까. 그래도 우리는 족보는 안 꼬였어.
우리는 그래도 족보는 안 꼬였어. At least our family hierarchy, or our hierarchy, didn't get messed up. So 족보 literally means a family genealogy or lineage chart. And in everyday Korean, especially in groups like friends or classmates, it's used jokingly to mean the social order of who is older and who is younger. So in this conversation, they're deep in chaos about like Korean age versus international age, birth months, and who is technically the same age for a few months, and who calls whom like young. So when those things overlap weirdly, people say 족보가 꼬였다, meaning the age hierarchy got tangled. Meaning it's unclear who should speak casually or formally, and someone ends up being older by one system and younger by another. So when he says 그래도 우린 족보는 안 꼬였어, he means despite all this confusing age math, at least our internal order as BTS is still clear. No one suddenly has to switch honorifics or renegotiate relationships. So it's pretty funny. But the thing is, when it comes to BTS members, their chemistry is just so amazing. There are clear hyungs and clear dongsangs, the older guys and younger guys. But the relationship feels like there's no... It's kind of... I don't know how to describe it. Paradoxical. There is hierarchy. At the same time, there's no hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? I think, yeah, you probably understand what I'm trying to say. And also, I think it's super fascinating how V still uses like formal language. What was it, Jungkook? Both Jungkook and V probably, like honorifics, and use that, ending their sentences in yo, with yo. So using that polite and formal language when they speak to older hyungs. But at the same time, these guys are just brothers, So, anyways, that was the end of the age talk.
나는 그냥 형이면 무조건 형이고.
SUGA says 나는 그냥 형이면 그냥 무조건 형이고. So for me, if you're a 형, you're just a 형. Meaning he doesn't really, how should I say that? Yeah, so when the hierarchy gets tangled up, you can become a hyung in one instance, and you can become like younger in another instance. But for SUGA, he wants to keep things simple. If you're a hyung, you're always a hyung to me.
그거 맞아. 나 태형이랑 꼬였잖아요.
Jimin says, 나 근데 태형이랑 꼬였잖아요. I got tangled up with 태형.
이만 늦게 태어났으면 그냥
잊혀진.
That action. For this live stream, the interaction between Jimin and V is hilarious. Okay, so Jimin's birthday is October 13, 1995. V's birthday is December 30th, 1995. So Jimin is saying here, 임마 이틀만 늦게 태어났으면, if this guy had been born just 2 days later,
꼬였잖아요. 이만 늦게 태어났으면
like you little, seriously, making that funny gesture, because if V had been born 2 days later, he would have been born in 1996, which makes him 동생, or which makes Jimin 형 to V.
잊혀진.
And V goes, 형님, 이건 좀 아니지 않습니까? 형, isn't this a bit too much? Or are you saying it for real? Alright, now they're talking about take two. Alright, thank you, V, for playing that track so that these guys would stop talking about age and pay attention to BTS music.
이만 늦게 태어났으면 그냥
잊혀진. Something about SUGA says something about like forgotten.
잊혀진.
꼬였잖아요. 이만 늦게 태어났으면 그냥
잊혀진.
Yeah, take two, the forgotten either forgotten track or album.
테이크 2 어떻게
테이크 2 잊혀졌어요?
Take 2 잊혀졌어요? Is Take 2 forgotten? RM asked.
아 머리 엄청
형 근데 저는 테이크 가끔
머리 엄청 길다. My hair is too long. V goes, I sometimes listen to Take 2. For real. And other guys go, yeah, me too. Same here.
감성이 있어.
Take 2 has that kind of vibe, Jin says.
난 테이크 2의 커버가 싫어.
RM says, I hate the Take 2 cover. BTS Take 2. And I think I know why he says that. Yeah, because if you just look at the cover, you wouldn't recognize that it's a BTS single or album, except the fact that there's a BTS logo. And RM adds.
사실 커버에 너무
The other guys are laughing, probably in agreement.
디스어드밴티지를 받았다고.
커버가 디스어드밴티지를 받았던 거야. I think the cover had a disadvantage.
저희가 군대 가서
And Jungkook, notice how he's nodding.
그러니까 저희가 군대 커버에 너무
테이크가 그 감성이 있어.
사실 난 테이크 2의 커버가 싫어.
So right after RM said, I hate the cover art for Take 2,
사실 커버에 너무
Jungkook just nods.
디스어드밴티지를 받았다고.
아 그치.
저희가 군대 가서
무한 긍정, I absolutely agree with you, V says.
저희가 군대 간 사이에 저희가 커버를 못 봐가지고.
아니야 우리 군대
RM said, 저희가 군대 간 사이에 커버를 못 받아가지고 we couldn't get a proper, or we weren't able to see the cover while we were in the military.
가기 전에 나왔어. 나 가기 전에 나왔어.
But Jin says, no, it actually came out before we enlisted. Yeah, before I was enlisted, in fact.
아 맞아요. 근데
맞네. RM realizes that's true.
근데 우리랑 약간 좀 그런 거.
안 불편하냐?
활동을
근데 우리는 약간 그런 면이 있었어. It still had that kind of something with us.
일로 올래? 가운데로.
But now they're talking about timing.
근데 우리랑 약간 좀 그런 거.
안 불편하냐?
활동을 안
일로 올래?
했으니까.
가운데로
Yeah, 활동은 아니었으니까. It's because that we weren't really promoting.
온나?
몇분 나왔냐?
일로 와. 야몇 번?
Meanwhile,
나 가기 전에 나왔어.
아 맞아요. 근데 우리랑 약간
yeah, SUGA says that the timing wasn't that good.
안 불편하냐?
활동을 안
Jimin says to Jungkook, 너 안 불편하냐? Aren't you, are you okay? Are you not comfortable? So that's because Jungkook is sitting in a weird position, leaning onto the sofa, and Jimin is paying attention to that. And I love how these guys are paying attention to each other, right? Like for example, the Hyungs trying to pull V into the frame so that the fans could see him better, and Jimin paying attention to Jungkook, who is way behind. But Jungkook says that no, he's good. I feel comfy enough.
일로 올래? 가운데로 온나?
And Jimin says, 일로 올래? Would you want to come over? 가운데로 온나? Come to the middle. But Jungkook says, I'm okay. Meaning I'm okay.
몇분 나왔냐?
근데 우리랑 약간 좀 그런 거.
안 불편하냐?
활동을 안
일로 올래?
했으니까.
Oh, I love that.
가운데로 온나?
So when Jungkook is with the Hyungs, is like low key and chill, and even that I really appreciate that.
몇분 나왔냐?
Meanwhile, we all know he's a golden maknae, right?
일로 와. 야몇 번?
So these guys are saying, 일로 와, come over here, or let's all change positions. 바꿔. So let's all change positions, switch.
아 일로 온나?
나의 편해. Jungkook says, I'm comfy enough. Okay, then this happened. So Jin just lifts him, and tosses him onto the couch.
아 일로 온나?
야이씨.
And these guys are just laughing.
나 소파 산
V is clapping.
한 달도 안 됐어.
Meanwhile, RM is concerned about his couch by saying, 나 소파 산지 한 달도 안 됐어. I haven't even had this couch for a month. Jimin, meanwhile, is worried about Jungkook's neck. 괜찮아? You okay? Jungkook says, 괜찮아. I'm okay.
정국이 어떻게 들어? 세다 어떻게 들어?
얘가 얘.
V says to Jin, 형, Kim said, you're super strong. How did you even lift him? And now, Jin is placing the blame on JHope. It was him. JHope says, 내가 어떻게 들어요, 형? How would I even lift Jungkook?
내 소파.
I was so surprised. Jungkook says, 깜짝 놀랐네. That really surprised me.
나 정국이 들리는 거 처음 봐.
JHope, 나 정국이 들리는 거 처음 봐. I have never seen Jungkook been lifted like that.
너 누군가에 들려본 적 있어?
V, 너 누군가에게 들려본 적 있어? Jungkook, have you ever been lifted before by somebody?
들려본 적 있어?
다친 데는 없어? 들려는 많이 봤.
다친 데 없어? Jin is worried. Are you okay? Not hurt?
정국이 내가
But Jungkook says, I have been lifted a lot before.
어렸을 때 어버 키웠어.
Jin, 정국이 어렸을 때 내가 업어 키웠어. I raised Jungkook, carrying him on my back when he was young.
맞은 거 아니고요?
정국이 내가 어렸을 때 어버 키웠어.
그렇긴 해. Jungkook says, that's true.
맞은 거 아니고요?
He says, 맞은 거 아니고요? Wasn't it the case that you got hit by Jungkook? And them just laughing. That's, they're just joking because Jungkook is a strong guy, right? 둘 다. Both is the case.
지금 정국이가 날 안 되면 된다. 야몇 분이야 몇 분? 지금 제가 봐 55분이에요.
So that was a funny moment, although I'm pretty sure there are some people out there concerned about what just happened because it could get dangerous. But let me just tell you, when guys, especially young guys, hang out together, they fool around all the time, physically, but they are, it's just all good natured. But yeah, it's important to be safe. But it was just funny. I'm glad that Jungkook is safe though.
정국이 어떻게 들어? 세다 어떻게 들어?
얘가 얘.
내가 어떻게 들어요?
깜짝 놀랐네.
Meanwhile, RM is
내 소파.
와 뭐야?
their sofa, my sofa or my couch.
나 정국이 들리는 거 처음 봐.
야 정국아, 너 누군가에 들려본 적 있어?
So RM and SUGA are just
들려본 적 있어?
다친 데는 없어? 들려는 많이 봤지. 정국이 내가 어렸을 때 어버 키웠어.
맞은 거 아니고요?
둘 다. 지금 정국이가 날 안 되면 된다. 야몇 분이야 몇 분? 지금 제가 봐 55분이에요.
Jungkook says 제가 볼 땐 55분이에요. I think it's 55. So 11:55 p.m.
어리.
정확해 정확히 55분.
들어 5 나왔어요.
That was exactly it.
5 나왔어요.
5 minutes left, everyone. 5 minutes.
5 나왔어?
야 소망
5분 남았어. 5 minutes left.
있냐 소망?
소망 있냐? Do you guys have a wish? Any wish?
우리 제아이 좀.
앨범이나 좀 잘 됐으면 좋겠네.
Jimin says 앨범이나 좀 잘 됐으면 좋겠는데 I just hope that our album becomes a success. Meanwhile, V suggests, can we put on the New Year's bell ceremony? 제야의 종. So 제야의 종 literally means the bell at year's end. It looks something like this, and it refers to the traditional New Year's Eve bell ringing ceremony in Korea. Most famously, the bell at 보신각 in Seoul, which is rung at like midnight on December 31st. And it's broadcast live every year on TV and is a huge like cultural marker of the new year beginning. So V is essentially saying, should we turn on or can we turn on the broadcast of the New Year's bell? And it's the Korean equivalent of watching like the Times Square ball drop in New York.
혹시 뉴스에 제아이 좀. 우리 집 지상파 뉴스가 안 나와.
So V asked RM, 형, can you find the New Year's bell broadcast on the news? But RM says, my place broadcast channels aren't coming in, like the 지상파 news. So he doesn't really watch, or he doesn't watch TV. He only uses YouTube.
아니 유튜브로 틀어도 돼.
So Jin says immediately, we can turn it on YouTube.
유튜브.
YouTube.
오케이 유튜브.
아이 창문이 하면
So RM is about to work on it.
안 들리나? 안 들리겠지?
Jimin.
유튜브. 오케이 유튜브.
아이 창문이 하면 안 들리나? 안 들리겠지?
창문 열면 안 들리나? 안 들리겠지. But if you open the window, can we hear it? Maybe not.
야 여기서 어떻게 들리냐?
How would he be able to hear it?
옛날에 막
Because it's so far away.
야 너가 종 해줘. 12시면
형 그럼 냄비 같은
JHope says, why don't you act as a bell? Why don't you become a bell?
야 너가 종 해줘. 12시면
So when it becomes a midnight, they go dang. Look at Jin's face.
형 그럼 냄비 같은 거 하나만 줄 수 있어요?
Jimin, ask RM, 형, can you hand me something like a pot
머리다 첩보게 그냥.
so I can bang it on my head?
아니 뭔가
Going with the flow of the jokes.
종이 집이면 종이 있을 것 같은데.
SUGA says, 남준이 집이면 종이 있을 것 같은데. I feel like, yeah, since it's Namjoon's place, there will be a bell or something.
다들 친절하네.
오 남준이 알고리즘을 볼 수 있다.
Okay, this is hilarious. So they've just RM just logged into his YouTube account and he's playing it on his either I don't know screen, either projector through projector or TV screen. And JHope says, 남준이 알고리즘 볼 수 있겠구나. We're about to check Namjoon's algorithm, meaning what he usually watches. So when you first log into YouTube, there are like videos listed on the feed, right? And that tells you what kinds of content you usually watch. So they are super interested. Look at these guys' faces in expectation. And 3, 2, 1. 과연 what is it? What is it? Well, I have never seen, especially SUGA, laugh this hard in a while.
남준 좋았다 야.
확인입니다.
볼까? 야, 코르티스 왜 이렇게 많이 나오노?
야 코르티스가 많이 나오네 근데.
Okay, we have no idea what they just saw. I think it has something to do with drama because that's something they're gonna talk about soon. But then RM says 코르티스가 많이 나오네.
볼까? 야, 코르티스 왜 이렇게 많이 나오노?
Why is there Cortis all over? Cortis is their big hit group, right? Who debuted this year.
코르티스가 많이 나오네 근데.
There are a lot of Cortis showing up though.
야 좋네.
아, 지금 내 알고리즘 볼 때 아니야.
It's not the time to check my algorithm, RM says.
제야. 아니 근데
Cheya, the year-end bell ceremony.
진짜 저런 드라마를 되게 많이 보는구나.
저
Alright, so right here, SUGA says, 저런 드라마를 많이 보는구나. Wow, you really watch dramas like that a lot. So I can't imagine what kinds of thumbnails must been up. Like, I don't know, maybe thumbnails of like cute dramas, K-dramas, or who knows. And these guys are just found it funny that RM watches those stuff all the time, maybe?
드라마 좋아합니다.
And RM says, 저 드라마 좋아합니다. I like drama.
제야의 종소리.
Alright, let's watch it one more time because it's just so funny. Especially this moment when these guys were like super focused on like the YouTube screen right here in expectation.
볼 수 있다.
과연 뭘까?
남준 좋았다 야.
확인입니다.
볼까? 야, 코르티스 왜 이렇게 많이 나오노?
야 코르티스가 많이 나오네 근데.
I think the reason why he brought up Cortis is because it's just so embarrassed. RM. Not really embarrassed, but just saying it.
야 좋네.
아, 지금 내 알고리즘 볼 때 아니야.
제야. 아니 근데 진짜 저런 드라마를 되게 많이 보는구나.
저 드라마 좋아합니다.
Yeah, so RM loves drama.
제야의 종소리. 잘했네.
25요. 실시간
와 사람 많다야.
So they found the live stream version of the bell ceremony, and they realized that there are a lot of people in the place, like this place in Jongno, Seoul. Yeah, it's usually packed, super crowded.
3 나와서
야 라이브 TV 피부 오는 거 처음 아니야?
그렇지.
Isn't it our first time watching this live on YouTube or live?
우리 뭐 그래미 옛날에 뭐 그거 인피니
종로인가? 무슨
자 여러분 소원 있어요? 내년에 뭐 이루고 싶어요?
Jin asks, do you guys have any wishes? New Year wishes?
단순하게 BTS
컴백이나 잘 됐으면 좋겠어.
Yep, RM and JHope says, simple, I hope the comeback goes well.
건강 잘 챙기고
And taking care of our health.
서른 먹으니까 이게 1년 1년이 다르지 않냐? 그래.
Isn't it the case that once you hit your 30s, each year really feels different? Jin asks. 그러긴 해. That's the case, JHope says. And Jungkook says, I've now just turned 30.
나이 먹기 싫어.
난내 나이가 몇인지도 잘 모르겠어. 어른
Jin, I don't even know what age, how old I am anymore.
들이 왜 몇 년생입니다 이러고 계속 놀리고 있어.
I get why adults say their birth year instead of saying their age. And I do that all the time because age system gets confusing for me.
오늘 경락 받았더니 여기 피부 들어 내가.
이러고 계속 놀리고 있어.
오늘 경락 받았더니 여기 피부 들어 내가.
RM says, I got a facial massage today and ended up bruised here.
뭐야 이거 뭐야?
Jimin, I think he says something like this keeps ringing.
마음속에 소망
So he's setting something, adjusting the setting on the phone. 마음속의 소망, whatever wish you have in your heart.
그 31일 날 그 마음 그 가지고 있다가도 일요일 되면 까먹어.
사야가 작년
Jin says that I always do this on the 31st. I keep the wish with me, but then the next day I forget about it.
나그 군대 법당에서 종쳤구나 내가.
RM says last year I rang a bell at a military temple, a Buddhist temple. Yep, I rang it. V says there are really so many people.
진짜. 여러분 이제 얼마 안 남았어요.
콘서트에서 저렇게
Everyone, there's not much time left until 2026.
해주시잖아.
맞네. 저거
They do that at concerts too, Jin says.
우리 그거 소우주 나올 때잖아.
Right, that's when Microcosmos comes on. And I think they're talking about like light effects that they do at these events or something. Reminded them of their concert settings, maybe.
밖에 진짜 추울 텐데.
It must be really cold outside, Jimin says. Freezing out there.
내년에
서울이지?
They said it because despite the weather, people are, gathering up to witness the bell ringing ceremony.
저희 컴백 좀 제발.
Comeback 좀 제발, please. Our comeback, let our comeback go well, please.
제발 무사히.
앨범 잘 되자.
잘 되자.
앨범 잘 되자. Please let the album succeed.
잘 되자.
Please go well.
앨범 좋아.
Jin says casually, 앨범 좋아. The album is good.
이거 보니까 약간 옛날 우리 타임스퀘어에서 막 그런 거
락킹 이브. 맞아.
그런 거 했을 때 기억나네.
JHope, this reminds me of when we did that stuff at Times Square. Yeah, the New Year Rockin' Eve. Do I have it here? Yep, there we go. BTS, Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve 2020, 5 years ago. Legendary performance.
아니 근데
이
방송은 하고
모신각이고 딴
진짜 그 재즈 나오는 소리 아니야?
그리고 막저 파트에서
DMC 상암 기억나?
So V and JHope, I think they were reminiscing about their performance for New Year Rockin' Eve. Meanwhile, RM and SUGA are reminiscing about like even before then. When they performed in like areas like 임진각 or NBC broadcast stations,
진짜 얼어 죽을 뻔했어. 그때는
it was so freezing at the time.
그때 이원생 중계.
할만했지.
이원생 중계.
근데 우리 거기서도
Well,
얼어 죽을 뻔했어. 그때는
그때 이원생 중계.
할만했지.
이원생.
yeah. So it was dual live broadcast system. And I think when they said 임진각, maybe they're talking about 2015 era. 추운 날씨에도, yeah, there you go. Thank you all the armies who came to see BTS in Gocheok Dome and Imjingang despite the freezing weather. So maybe they're talking about that era.
근데 우리 거기서도 하고 넘어와서 삼성에서도 하고 그랬었잖아요.
아 그래?
네. 그러고 거기서 퇴근했잖아요. 삼성에.
So we did it there and then moved, came over to Samsung as well. Not sure which Samsung they're talking about. Maybe Samsung Station. There's a station named Samsung.
영동대로는 SBS 아니었나?
And they're talking about another place like Yeongdeung-daero and Suga Wonders. Wasn't Yeongdeung-daero SBS?
모르겠어. 헷갈리네. 아무튼
So I don't know. It's confusing anyway. RM says. Anyway,
아니야.
나 영동대로는 안
저희가 그거
몇 분 남았어요? 몇 분? 1분.
they have such a long career and they have done, so many things throughout their career that yeah, it makes sense that they don't quite remember the locations or times, accurately. But anyways,
1분이야.
저희가 그거
몇 분 남았어요? 몇 분?
how many minutes left?
1분.
1 minute.
1분이야.
자, 아침부터 조용히 하세요.
Everybody, stay quiet from now on.
카운트다운 같이 할 거예요?
Are we gonna do the countdown together?
여기서 해주겠지.
Jungkook says they're gonna do it from there, from this place in the broadcast.
안 해? 우리도 CM 같이 따라하면 되지. 야 25년 끝났다 진짜.
So we can repeat after them. We can just follow along. Jungkook suggests.
켜지가 않는다. 아 고생.
I cannot believe 2025 is really over. JHope says.
고생했어. 고생했어.
You guys worked really hard. Seriously, we worked hard.
진짜.
지금부터
바로 뭐?
카운트다운을 잠시 뒤에
완수 신호 좀 보내느라고. 네.
완수 신호. 어떻게 됐어?
완수 신호?
카운트다운을
So RM was doing something.
따라하면 되지. 야 25년 끝났다 진짜 믿겨지가 않는다. 아 고생했다. 고생했어. 고생했어 진짜.
자, 지금부터
바로 뭐?
Jungkook says, in agreements.
카운트다운을 잠시 뒤에
완수 신호 좀 보내느라고. 네.
It says I was sending the 완수 신호, like completion signal. 완수 신호. It's a military term. And
완수 신호.
JHope recognizes what he meant by that.
됐어? 뭐야? 나랑 호비랑 그거 왜 만들어? 야 호바 이거 뭐냐?
Jin, Hobie and I had to memorize that thing, and I was like, Hope, what is even this thing? And I guess the joke here really only really lands if you've been in the military. So 완수 신호 literally means a completion signal. In the Korean military, is a very specific thing. So when a task or a mission is finished, you don't just say I'm done. You report completion using like fixed either wording or a signal that have to be memorized exactly and delivered properly. So that's what they were talking about.
이거 뭐냐 이거? 아 미치겠네 진짜.
10초.
And Jimin is laughing as well.
건강판을 잠깐 봐주시죠.
가자.
숫자 보이시죠?
So 10 seconds left.
자,
치는 순간 새해 복 많이 받으세요.
Jimin says, as soon as they ring the bell, let's say Happy New Year.
7, 6.
Oh my god, these guys look so excited for 2026.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 새해 복 많이 받으세요.
Yep, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
항상 대박 나자 제발.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Wow, this is really moving.
새해 복 많이 받으세요.
This is
자, 여러분 새해 복 많이 받으시고 저희는 건강한 방탄소년단이 되겠습니다.
새해 복.
Yep, so they were all saying Happy New Year. V here says that everyone Happy New Year and we will become a healthy BTS. And then something happened.
자, 여러분 아직 저희는 가지 않았습니다.
V says, 자 여러분 저희는 아직 가지 않았습니다. Everyone, we haven't left yet.
자,
같이 인사하자.
인사하자.
인사는 제대로 하고 끄자.
Let's say a proper goodbye.
저희 새해 복 많이 받으시라고.
오늘 새해 됐다고 저희끼리
So let's do a proper greeting or do a proper farewell before ending.
시간 잠깐 보내겠습니다.
Jimin says, since it's the new year, we will spend a little time together.
여러분 새해 복 많이 받으시고요.
Everyone, Happy New Year.
올해 뵙겠습니다.
I don't know what that interaction was about.
시간 잠깐 보내겠습니다.
Jimin and JHope.
여러분 새해 복 많이 받으시고요.
Eye contact.
올해 뵙겠습니다.
예.
Happy New Year, everyone, and we will see you this year, RM says.
지금까지
This has been
반갑습니다. 나왔습니다. 둘, 셋. 감사합니다. 새해 복 많으세요.
새해 복만.
피스.
새해 복만.
wow. 새해 복만 means 새해 복 많이 받으세요. Happy New Year. Whew. How long was it? My translation. Absolutely amazing. Chaotic, super messy, in the best way possible, hilarious. And the title was BTS 2026. I'm not going to add a long commentary. I think I talked enough. But all I want to say is that you are excited, I am excited, and these guys are excited. And it's 2026, the BTS year, baby. Leave your thoughts. What was your favorite moment? You can provide multiple options. What were your favorite moments, highlights, and what are some things that I didn't get to mention or point out? And yeah, what are some details that you have found out on your own? Please add them in the comment section. And as always, when we have conversations, let's stay positive, respectful, and classy. Thank you guys. Peace and love, and Happy New Year. Bye-bye.